Hello everybody, welcome in. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Twin Flame Tarot, and we're going to talk about this lunar eclipse in Scorpio. The energies are intense. We're going to go in depth and talk about these energies coming in. This full moon eclipse is going to have us knee deep in some very intense emotions, some very intense energies. And so it's kind of like the energy of the fall is kind of what I'm feeling. And I guess the question I think many of us are asking, is there any way out of this madness? And so the only way out of the madness is to go through it, is a big message. So we think of the Taurus Scorpio axis. All of this energy is kind of getting us to stop avoiding any issues, to stop escaping any issues, and to stop burying our heads in the sand, because it's not going to serve our highest evolution moving forward. We can't keep running and hiding when it comes to any issues that have been festering below the surface. So we're kind of being asked to dive deep into our ancient lineage and to go deep into this energy of where you've been evasive, where you've not wanted to look at this. So what I keep hearing is we are releasing these illusions, the illusions of the mind. Scorpio Taurus is linked to the dragon's head and tail when it comes to the second and the eighth house. So if you have Taurus or Scorpio in your second or eighth house, we're going through a major activation. If you have a Taurus North Node, Scorpio South Node, you're going through a North Node activation. And if you have the reverse nodals, you're going through a reverse activation. So a lot of potent energies which are trying to get us to look at what we've not been wanting to look at, and which also is giving us the energy to finally heal and find a place of forgiveness. And so when we get to a place of forgiveness of self, that's when we can find that deep inner compassion for all that we are and all that others are going through at this time. So eclipses are basically a full moon on steroids, pretty much. And they always have a very heavy emotional feeling to them. So, and the reason for this is because the light from the sun, the Taurus energy, which is symbolizing our consciousness, is quite literally being blocked out. So this is where we're kind of being plunged into the darkness, into our subconscious mind. And this is where we go into all of these buried, repressed old traumas and hurts, and they come to the surface with a vengeance. So whatever has not been healed, whatever you've been carrying through your genes, your DNA, when it comes to your ancestral family lineage, it's all coming up to be addressed. This is what our soul asked to work through this life. It's about activating the soul's karma, and the karmic pathway this life. And it can be extremely difficult. So we're kind of all being asked to kind of be the observer with a little bit of curiosity instead of coming from this place of harsh judgment. So practically speaking, this eclipse is linked to Saturn. Saturn is all about structure, order. It's our strict teacher. It deals with a lot of tight aspects when it comes to limitations, restrictions, and where you've lacked responsibility. So a lot of this does have to do with our one-on-one relationships. What do we value? And this is going to upheave a lot of material situations that you're needing to release. So it's like this deep look at all of our fears, all of our insecurities, because that's really what's been holding us back, when you know it's kind of time to let something go. So this is kind of like a time of tightening the reins. And it's a time where we cannot keep indulging in these codependent behaviors, these addictive behaviors, these masking behaviors, and we're kind of being asked to kind of throw caution to the wind in the energies. So Saturn is going to be putting a very hard no in place when it comes to accepting what just cannot be. And this is going to bring growth, expansion, maturity, and a deep understanding that we can't always have what we want, because sometimes what we want is not meant for us and it's not meant for our highest good. So the eclipse is also in close proximity to Uranus, the planet of sudden upheaval, changes, and awakening. Although it's about 10 degrees away from the sun and the moon, it's still going to have a very important effect when it comes to this eclipse. So Uranus is about freeing ourselves from these limitations. Uranus is also in Taurus. So it is the energy of rebellion to reach liberation, and it is going to bring unexpected change and upheaval. So the only way out of Saturn's noose is to kind of go through this acceptance. We're not fully in control of these energies. The universe is. And I know sometimes it's hard to accept that and to surrender. But this truly is a deep, sacred process that we're going through collectively when we're being asked to kind of trust in the void, to trust in the unknown, and to understand that we have to go through this release if we want to step into these new higher vibrations and these new higher timelines. So there's a couple of aspects I wanted to talk about when it comes to the moon. The moon is in the Centaur. So if you think of the Centaur, let me see if I can find my card. It's similar to like a Chiron energy. The Centaur is half man, half human, similar to the Chiron aspect. And so even though the moon is in the constellation of Libra and it does not actually align with the fixed star of the scales, it is aligning with the Centauri. So this is basically a deep energy of giving way to, you know, authority positions, friendships, refinement, morality, health, and honor. And the constellation Centaurus, if I can find the card, I'm talking and thinking and looking all at the same time. So this can give way to an energy of some hard-heartedness is what I'm feeling. And it can bring forward these shadow inclinations, especially with the Scorpio South Node coming to the surface, of vengeance. You know, it's like this energy of love of arms, strong, passionate love or hate. And it's a very powerful energy coming in. So it's also connected to poison. So collectively, I think we're all kind of tapping into our own divination and the medicine that we need for our soul. There it is. There's the Centaur. So, and that's the Hierophant. And so I know there's another card with the Centaur on it, and I'd like to find it. So, because we're going to talk about those energies and the Two of Wands. So that's what I'm talking about. So this is the Mythic Tarot, if anybody is wondering. And definitely all of these energies I'm talking about are talking about mythology. So the constellation Centaurus is kind of asking us to go into our inner beast and to bring that out is kind of what I'm feeling. And so we're kind of at the crossroads. And when you think of the Hierophant, that is the highest authority when it comes to divination. It is, you know, God source energy. And so look at that. It's like, ready to rock out, guys? Are you ready to rock out? Because there's a lot being eclipsed and illuminated when it comes to this crossroads energy and needing to choose and to maybe come out of your man cave or your woman cave to kind of come out of the shadows. But first we got to go deep within the shadows. And the sun is going to be in a fixed star called Algol, which is linked to Medusa's head. And when we look at what Medusa represents, she was raped and slain by Perseus. And so this is going to bring forward a very unfortunate influence with this lunar eclipse. So this collectively, I feel, is going to bring forward a lot of energies that are not going to be able to be avoided. I feel like this whistleblower energy when it comes to the collective darkness that we're rising above as we, you know, go higher into 5D and above. And so this can indicate violent death or extreme sickness. And if you look at the state of the world, and I don't really watch the news, I'm not ignorant to what is going on, but I prefer not to feed myself that negativity. We've got the war going on, all of this COVID stuff that we've been going throughout the years when it comes to these fear-based energies and sickness. So I feel this is indicating a big energy of misfortune when it comes to the collective, because when I think of the sun in Medusa's head, it is a very dark energy. It is the most evil star in the heavens when it comes to Algol. So this is going to bring forward some misfortune collectively. It could trigger a lot of violence with that Scorpio South Node being activated, coming to the surface for that releasing. And I was shown like the energies of decapitation and hanging, and all of this is due to like past life timelines where we have tried to bring Christ consciousness into the collective, and we were slain or massacred or hung or murdered for our gifts. And this is the lifetime that we bring our divinity to the forefront for this collective refinement. And so in order to, you know, step into the light, we kind of have to be shown all of these violent natures when it comes to the evils in the world, if we want to rise above it. So when it comes to this fixed star algol aligning with this eclipse, it's bringing in a lot of high spiritual rays, a lot of high spiritual light code activations are going to be emanating from this star constellation, but only those that have actually reached high spiritual development will be able to receive them with ease. And those that aren't there yet, we're going to have a lot of difficulties and obstacles in our way when it comes to using these energies and overcoming any handicaps or restrictions or limitations. So it's going to bring forward a lot of failing endeavors, and there's going to be a lot of strong counter forces coming up that will be present throughout the weekend. So the constellation Perseus, though, gives an intelligent, strong, bold, and adventurous nature, but it also gives a tendency to lying. So my biggest advice is always come from a place of honesty, truth, and accountability. You don't have to remember a lie when you're living in truth. So it is about, you know, accountability. So there's going to be some events affecting large numbers of people within the collective when it comes to this phenomena of this eclipse. And so collectively, I think many are feeling more tired and more exhausted than usual. This eclipse energy is coming in and it's feeling very draining. I highly recommend that you find a source of water, whether it's going to sit by the ocean, the lake, or whether it's taking those long baths, those shower meditations, cleansing yourself in order to get to a state of calm if you're feeling the tension and the anxiety that these energies are bringing in. It might help you prepare for these accelerated changes and big endings that these eclipses are bringing forward. So if we look back on the April 30th solar eclipse, this is kind of rounding the completion of those intentions that were set for those future foundations. The Taurus new moon eclipse was all about foundations, values. What do you want to bring into your life when it comes to these higher commitments? Because we've all been at the crossroads, and so this eclipse season, though, isn't going to completely close out until October 25th, 2022. So this is where we eclipse things out of our lives this weekend that will help us initiate these positive changes in order to follow our passionate desires. So I highly recommend some protection stones. You're going to want to get some black tourmaline, some black obsidian, and likely some tiger's eye, any black stones for protection to help you ground the energy, because when the darkness comes, we do get spiritually attacked. So I want to talk a little bit further about the Taurus Scorpio axis. I'm a pro at the Taurus Scorpio axis. I'm a Taurus sun. I don't have any Taurus or Scorpio in my housing side, but every distorted relationship I've ever been in has been with a Scorpio man. And so Taurus Scorpio is a very potent axis to work with. And this full moon eclipse really is a culmination and bring forward the promise of fulfillment when it comes to those seeds that you planted at that new moon eclipse. So not gonna sugarcoat things. It is a very intense emotional time for many of us. It is also triggering a time of romance and fertilization of these new higher unions, these divine unions. So this full moon eclipse is really going to affect those with personal placements in the fixed signs. So where do you have Taurus and Scorpio in your chart? If you have a sun, moon placement, you're going to be feeling this. If you have North Node, South Node, 12th house, you know, 2nd and 8th house, and as well as Leo and Aquarius. So I'm a Leo North Node, Aquarius South Node, and I'm also an Aquarius 12th house, Leo 6th house. So the 12th house is our house of undoing. It is the house where we bury the past, where we meet our karma, and where we climb the ascension ladder. So I went through my activation in 2019 during the double full moon in Libra. And I feel this energy of rounding completion for my own personal journey. I'm actually feeling pretty great, but I'm actually pre-recording this reading on Friday, so we'll see what the weekend brings. I actually plan on packing up and going to the trailer this weekend to get by the lake and to soak up some of these light codes outside this weekend. I'm definitely going to be grounding this polarity of energies coming in and holding that space for the collective as best as I can. So when it does come to the Taurus Scorpio polarity, it's the balance between all that is mine, Taurus, and all that is yours, Scorpio. So my father's a Scorpio. Both my children's fathers are Scorpio. And I just don't seem to blend very well with those Scorpio men. I have a deep masculine wound when it comes to Scorpio men in my life. And I've definitely been working through that balance for quite some time. And a little side note, so I actually cut ties with my father about a year ago in April. I've not really had a close relationship with my father since my parents divorced, and it's taken me about 16 years to work through that wound, to understand and how to balance that out. And my father has always been about the money, 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 right? And there's this big inheritance that he always talked about when my grandparents would pass away. And it's like, are these not shared resources, right? So it's kind of like this benefactor energy is kind of what I was being shown. And Taurus emphasizes the concept of form. Taurus is material action. It's physical. It's physicality. And Scorpio indicates transformation. So it is, you know, the lord of the underworld. And while Taurus deals with physical form matter, personal values, material goods, possessions, and security, Scorpio rules the destruction of the form, the shared possessions, change, and transformation. So Taurus energy, the sun in Taurus, is encouraging happiness when it comes to the simple, tangible things in life. Those that are very close to me and know me know, yes, I love nice things. I love to keep a nice home, but I'm also very frugal. And I just like the simple life, right? I don't need extravagance. I quite am happy with the simple, tangible things in life. And then the energy of the Taurus moon is going to draw our attention to all of these complexities, the intangibles and the mysteries below the material world. And when it comes to my spiritual activation, I was activated with my karmic. I had my Kundalini activation with my karmic, who was a Scorpio, that kind of activated these mysterious energies within me. So we can't neglect either one of these polarities, because that's when we reach like this fire energy, this backfire energy. And so the balance needs to be found between the two. This full moon eclipse is kind of inviting us to find this balance. And it's also a time of deep emotional declarations. Now, an emotional declaration can be a declaration of love or a declaration of hate. It's all going to depend where you're at. But whatever has been building inside of you, likely of a deep, intimate nature, is going to be released, because the energy is demanding this to be eclipsed and released and let out in order for that healing. And we might not understand what these emotional declarations are going to mean until we get further into this, you know, the energies throughout the coming months. But it's this energy of, we can't keep sitting on these feelings. We have to get them out. We have to express them. And it's going to create a lot of conflict when it comes to collecting and sharing. So this is a powerful steroid full moon when it comes to illumination in our own personal lives. And any new feelings and revelations coming forward are likely going to be very emotional. Get ready for a lot of emotions to burst forward into your conscious that was repressed in your subconscious mind and buried deep within any grief within your heart. So you're going to want to exercise great care, though, because we might not be rational in these emotional declarations. It might be very chaotic because a lot is being exposed when it comes to these underlying festering issues that nobody's been willing to deal with. It's kind of time to talk about that big elephant in the room. We can't heal anything if we don't talk about it, if we don't feel it, and if we don't release it. So I think have a look at your natal chart. Where does the full moon fall when it comes to your housing side of the chart? So like I said, the 2nd and 8th house is a big activation when it comes to the dragon's head and tail. And those with Taurus, Scorpio, 2nd, 8th house, and it could be reversed, or, you know, Taurus, Scorpio, Scorpio, Taurus, it doesn't really matter. There's a very high spiritual calling there when it comes to your spiritual journey if you have those aspects. I feel Taurus ascendant or Scorpio ascendant and 7th house, Taurus or Scorpio, we're also going to be really feeling that. And especially if you have your 12th house in Taurus or Scorpio, it's a big energy of burying these past energies, making peace with our past karma, and closing out all of these cycles. And now I hear my cat wandering up on the roof above me. The cats have been acting very crazy lately. So a lot of illumination. And so this is like a total lunar eclipse. So it's a big part of this eclipse season when it comes to this Taurus Scorpio axis. From November 2021 all the way through October 2023. So we're going to have a lot of cosmic pushes when it comes to understanding our karmic attachments and improving our life, improving our financial state, and improving intimate connections with others. So with this lunar eclipse harmonizing with Mars, Neptune, and Pluto, and that square to Saturn, it's like a conviction energy. And are you willing to find your tenacity? Are you willing to make these changes necessary? Because there's going to be blockages and obstacles that we're going to have to get through, and it's not going to be easy. So I do want to talk about what I feel is coming in for each of the zodiac signs. This could apply to Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus, so take with you what resonates. And then we're going to jump in with the cards. So I think for my Aries collective, get ready for some mood swings. I don't think you're going to be able to relax and find harmony. There's going to be this energy of rising stress from my Aries collective and tension that's likely going to bring forward a lot of anxious energies, insecurities, uncertainties. And so I feel like Aries collective is learning to adjust, to compromise, and to adapt to these energies in order to restore a sense of emotional balance. You might want to avoid crisis. So it's kind of like this deep spring cleaning, a spiritual spring cleaning for Aries. And I think the eclipse energy is asking Aries to kind of dive straight into the heart of the emotions and to examine what's been keeping you stuck when it comes to fears. I think any secrets that have been weighing you down are likely needing to come to the surface. And it's about facing all of these skeletons in the closet head on so you can finally let them go once and for all. Taurus, I feel this eclipse is bringing a strong need and desire to accomplish great things and to succeed. And that's kind of where I'm at. I'm very career driven, very career focused. So depending on what area of your life is not working, I think there's going to be a redirection, and you might find yourself a little bit emotionally sensitive depending on your other aspects in your chart. But the key to success for Taurus is compromise and cooperation. So I feel this eclipse energy for my Taurus collective is catalyzing some very deep shifts when it comes to your self-identity and all of your partnerships. And now is the time to release fear, shame, and any emotional baggage that you've been carrying around in your relationships. And you got to be willing to face what's in your heart and to feel these true feelings if you want to get to the next level of the journey. Gemini, I think this lunar eclipse is going to bring all kinds of mood swings for you. You're not going to be able to relax either. And so I think the way you work and organize your life is changing in very dramatic ways. And this eclipse wants you to do away with these bad habits, these deep-seated routines that have been keeping you stuck in a rut. So I think get ready for a big shakeup, and it's likely going to be a full moon of drama. It's this trial by fire in order to restructure what's not working in order for you to step into that new beginning. Gemini, okay, Cancer. This full moon is bringing you a boost of self-confidence in order to find your inner balance. So you might find yourself finally able to relax a little bit more and to be comfortable embracing your authentic self. So I think relationships are being asked to reach a state of harmony, and this is an excellent time to begin a brand new intimate relationship and for promoting yourself, likely publicly. So I think this could manifest in a couple of different ways for my Cancer. I think if you are getting over any creative blocks or letting go of this long-held romantic hang-up that you've not been able to release, this eclipse is paving the way for your soul to grow, Cancer. It's time to grow, Cancer. And there's going to be all kinds of shocking revelations that's going to bring unexpected upheaval, but it's also going to bring you this fresh new energy of inspiration, Cancer. So the universe is basically demanding you to make room for something deeper and something much more emotionally meaningful in your life that you're here to develop and nurture. Leo, I think this full moon is going to bring any simmering relationship tensions to the surface. Any annoyances that have been niggling away at you below the surface are kind of forcing you to do something about it. So I think sensitivity when it comes to moodiness, especially in partnerships or with family members and close friends. And I think get ready for some emotional drama, Leo. You might want to take a deep breath and get ready to face this family drama or a close to home heartache that's been weighing on your soul far too long, Leo. So this eclipse is impacting your private and your public life on a big scale. This time around, you're going to have to get really personal. You're going to have to go deep. And it's kind of time for you to let go of the past once and for all if you want to start finding your footing again and to start building on more solid emotional grounds when it comes to foundations. Virgo, I think this lunar eclipse is going to bring you a lot of self-confidence in order to find that inner balance and contentment. I think you're going to be able to see both sides of the fence in a fair and balanced way in order to resolve any relationship problems or personal problems, especially when it comes to intimate relationships. And we only grow when we are willing to open up to an emotional bond and mutual respect with another, Virgo. So what's been weighing on your heart? What truth have you been hiding that's been weighing on your heart, Virgo? Because you can't hold back what it is that you need to express, what it is that needs to be communicated. No matter how intense it feels to be vulnerable, you're being asked to be open and emotionally vulnerable, Virgo. It's kind of time to speak your fears out loud and to share your deepest feelings if you want to commiserate with the world around you. Instead of keeping things bottled up inside, we have to be willing to release so we can finally start healing, Virgo. Libra, this eclipse energy is allowing you to make more meaningful emotional connections with your friends and your family. So I think you're finally ready to learn some new things about yourself, Libra, and others that will help you gradually improve all of your relationships. So I think it's adapting to small but positive changes and keep putting one foot in front of the other when it comes to improving your sense of self-security and your sense of emotional well-being. You got to stop underestimating yourself, Libra, and you got to start letting go of everything that's been holding you back from embracing your highest self-worth. So for my Libra collective, I think it's all about self-worth. What ways do you keep making yourself smaller? How can you embrace self-empowerment in your life? Because once you clear all of that clutter from your soul and your spirit and you get in tune with your true authentic self, you're going to be able to manifest magic in the material realm all around you, Scorpio. I think intimate relationships are going to be in sharp focus for my Scorpio collective. It is the perfect time to start a new relationship, Scorpio, or to re-energize an existing one. But I think you're going to need to take a balanced approach when it comes to any problem solving, Scorpio. And this is an excellent time to put all of the cards on the table to clear the decks for that fresh start. So for my Scorpio collective, especially for my Scorpio South Node collective, this eclipse season is a time of deep personal inner transformation and high emotional intensity. So I think get ready for the pressure to be put on, Scorpio. You're being asked to come out of the closet and to get to the other side. And we don't get shiny like a diamond without going through the rough, without going through the pain. So get ready to shed your old skin and to watch all of these old pieces of your false identity to fall away. It's going to feel like you're walking through the heat of the flames. It's not going to feel good. It's like this rebirth by fire energy for Scorpio, but you need to remember you will emerge from the ashes radically renewed like the phoenix. Sagittarius, I think this full moon is helping you find more meaning in your life when it comes to emotional connections with your family and your friends. And I think you're finally ready to learn some new things about yourself in order to improve all of your relationships and putting one foot in front of the other. So I think no one loves an adventure like my Sages, and I know I'm a 10th house Sag. I'm all about spontaneity, adventure, and excitement. So it's like this energy that's still deep inside you that is craving spiritual stillness is what I feel. So I think it's going to be a little bit of a tumultuous vibe, this eclipse for Sag, and you could find it temporarily difficult to find some peace this weekend. You might be feeling tired or you might be feeling wired. So I think there's a lot of deep internal shifts taking place for my Sages that are really going to be affecting your energy levels and likely asking you to spend some time going inward, reflecting on your spiritual path. Capricorn, get ready for this full moon eclipse to bring you a dose of self-confidence in order to work through any unresolved relationship issues. So I think there's a toxic emotional bond that is needing to be addressed when it comes to a lack of mutual respect for my Capricorns. And this eclipse is prompting you to let go of these old, outdated relationship notions and to release any fears about what your future is going to look like. So I think it's time for my Capricorn collective to start embracing new possibilities that maybe you weren't previously willing to consider. So I think you're kind of starting to discover a new way of connecting with others and forming new ideas of what it means to work together as a team within these collective energies. So don't be afraid to ask for help and support if you need it, Capricorn. Aquarius. This full moon is bringing forward anything that's been simmering below the surface when it comes to relationship tension. So get ready for annoyance and niggling in order to force you to feel these emotions. So you're going to be sensitive to the energies, you're going to be moody, and you're going to want to avoid emotional drama. There's likely going to be some shakeups, and quite possibly when it comes to your career or your professional life, Aquarius. And this is prompting you to make changes under this eclipse. So I think this is hitting you in a public area of your birth chart. So it's going to mark a meaningful turning point, I feel, for Aquarius when it comes to career and coming into a realization about what it is that you truly want to pursue. And you're going to have to trust that these changes that are unfolding now are going to help you align with your highest purpose. Pisces. I'm a Pisces rising. I have a fondness for Pisces now that I've kind of cleared the karmic scales. So Pisces, get ready for a dose of self-confidence. I feel the energy is relaxed for you. It's going to feel very harmonious. It's an excellent time for intimacy. And I kind of feel promotion energy for Pisces, which is the High Priestess. So this total lunar eclipse for Pisces is bringing in major revelations. It's going to bring forward an awakening when it comes to your spiritual and philosophical gifts. And I think it's this deep process of overhauling your entire way of thinking and being and embracing a complete paradigm shift. So sudden perspective checks, unexpected growth spurts for Pisces, and it's going to be destabilizing at first. But this is where you truly get to know your authentic self. So let's jump in with some cards, guys, and see what else needs to come through in the energies. But I do feel this is kind of where we're at. We're at that crossroads. And if you want that deep level of commitment, if you want that sacred partnership, that divine counterpart partnership, you're going to have to remove everything that's been a mask, everything that's kept you from being 100% emotionally available. It takes being completely authentic and opening up the scrolls of the Akashic records if we want that solid committed partnership. Look at that, and that brand new beginning. We have to go into the pain. We have to feel it to heal it in order to release all of these power struggles below the surface and to embrace our qualities, to shed the old to bring in the new. So many of us are at a crossroads, absolutely. And many of us are kind of being asked to step into a level of independence. So I'm going to put all of these cards back, and I think I will use this deck during the reading. But that was just a little side note, guys. And I feel, yeah, it's kind of time to take the blinders off. It's kind of time to look at life without those rose-colored glasses on in order for that true perspective. And yes, Get ready to face some challenges in the energies. It's not going to be easy. It's never easy to embrace change, and we usually don't embrace change unless our life is, you know, challenging and upheaved in some aspect. So when we face these challenges head on, we can improve our life. So we're all going through a major spiritual test this weekend, and it will be a redirection for our life purpose. So what is it that you're being prompted to change? Because if you're not willing to make the changes, it's going to come in like a tower and it's not going to feel good. So maybe you want to ponder evaluating your life path, your life's work, and what is it that will fulfill you? Because there is something so much more fulfilling than the shadowy energies we've been sifting through. So, you know, it's about breaking free from the 3D matrix, this false sense of security that the 3D world has created. Money is an illusion. Although we live in a material world, it is an illusion. So we're here to embrace this deeper existence beyond this man-made prescription that society has kind of boxed us in at. And if you want to embrace self-development, you kind of got to break down all of those false beliefs. And you need to recognize where you've not been nurturing your soul. Because if you've been going through depression, that's a clear indication that your soul is suppressed. And you're needing to trust in that inner feeling of, hey, it's time to start working on myself at the soul level to feed and nourish my soul at the soul level. So let's see what needs to come through. Seeking. Yeah, there's going to be a catalytic event or person that will be redirecting you this weekend. So get ready for a catalytic event, a shakeup, and it's not going to feel good. It's going to create all kinds of challenges, but it's going to redirect you where you need to go and get you off of the beaten pathway so you can step into your purpose and find a sense of balance. Bottom of the deck, incoming messages. So I'm getting a couple energies. So there's this energy of people from the past coming back wanting to reach resolution, and maybe you're going to have somebody reach out to you that you don't even expect to reach out to you in order to reach resolution. So get ready to receive a message. With Mercury in retrograde, it's all about the past coming back to be dealt with once and for all. We're reevaluating our communication styles within relationships. Gemini is a very dualistic energy, so it's about embracing both polarities and being willing to listen to what is being said. We all know how hard it is to come forward with that truth, but I do feel an incoming message seeking some forgiveness on some level. So if you've reached a place of liberation in your heart from all of this pain, then that means you've forgiven yourself and anybody that has hurt you, which is likely bringing in somebody from the past that has hurt you, wanting that resolution and that forgiveness. So definitely a catalytic event, a big shakeup in order to clear all of these unwanted attachments. And if we want to clear all of these painful memories, we kind of got to go back into the subconscious. Whatever we've repressed, whatever we've buried kind of has to come to the surface for this releasing in order to clear all of these unhealthy, traumatic energies that we store in our emotional body. We have to release them for this renewal. So definitely a huge chakra clearing. Kundalini activations are also possible. And this is where we step into this seeking for this knowledge, this esoteric knowledge, knowing that we are students here. We came to Earth School to learn valuable human life lessons because we're curious, and the soul is always wanting to grow and expand. So you're gonna want to tune up your chakras to deal with the heaviness. You're gonna want to maximize the flow that's coming with all of these high frequency light codes, and that will allow you to shift through these energies with ease. So get ready to receive an incoming message when it comes to these changes that are taking place, the expansion that we're all kind of experiencing. No matter how these changes come in, and it's likely going to be painful, it is a gift to reconsider your path and to step into evolution. And this is all according to divine will, divine plan, divine timing says this is the perfect time for all of this upheaval to unfold and to release any expectations so we can have that deep understanding that the divine is always orchestrating a plan behind the scenes to bring forward that meaningful long-term impact in our lives, because Many of us stay stuck in these codependent, narcissistic, empathic relationships. There's not equal reciprocity. There's not equal giving and receiving. And we are here to embrace that healthy exchange from others. So this is the moment in time where we go through this deep transformation. But first we have to be upheaved out of our comfort zone. So get ready to experience upheaval this weekend, no matter how this upheaval comes in. It could be external, it could be internal, or it could be both, because our internal world is always a reflection, or our outer world is always a reflection of our internal energies. So we have to shed all of these layers if we really want to step into our highest purpose. And so it is the death, the rebirth energy, the snake energy. And we're being asked to retreat to understand these lessons in order to call in our like-minded soul family and to go through this deep, soulful rejuvenation through our mind, our body, and our spirit. You know, mind, body, spirit. I can do 1, 2, 3. 3, the Holy Trinity Union. So let's keep going with some illumination, oracle messages, growth, and expansion to get you back on track. But you can't get back on track until you go into feeling all of this repressed hurt. And it can be very dark. And I do think, yes, get ready for some accusations. Get ready for some accusations, for somebody to point the finger at you. I feel there's something needing to be addressed when it comes to maybe missing somebody from the past that you want forgiveness from, that likely, you know, you lost or you walked away from. And I feel somebody's been hiding the truth, likely in a karmic relationship, hiding the truth of them actually missing somebody from the past that they've never been able to release. And that's likely going to lead to some accusations, a catalyst, bring forward some accusations in order for you to finally face that deep hurt below the surface. And forgiveness is going to be needed. So let's see what else needs to come through with the illumination oracle messages. I'm not sure what it was, but it looked like it was over. Yeah, withholding the fact that this relationship is over. Stop clinging to something that's dead and gone. Stop watering a dead tree. The sun can't rise tomorrow with these new energies if you're not willing to let the past die away. So somebody's been withholding that a relationship is over. It's kind of time to embrace what needs to die away. We can't keep watering these dead trees and living in this place of lack, of emotional unfulfillment. Because when we are emotionally unfulfilled, then we lack in all areas of our life. So it's been a long time coming when it comes to these fresh relationship starts. And that's like my temperance card. So once again, an energy of divine timing at work when it comes to bringing forward an apology. There's definitely somebody that's been waiting for an apology, I think, for a long time. This could be an ending that happened years ago. Doesn't have to be the last person that broke your heart, but there's a need to kind of make amends for the past. And there's a need to apologize if you've hurt somebody. If you've been holding on to guilt, regret, remorse because you hurt somebody, but you've been too afraid to come forward and seek that forgiveness, maybe now is the time to, you know, evaluate where you've broken somebody's trust, where you've been lying or being dismissive, or, you know, where you've left somebody in the dark and not been honest with them. I think this has been a cycle that's gone on for a very long time. And maybe something that was walked away from that, you know, was walked away from before it ever got off the ground. So I think it's kind of time for truth, accountability, and honesty. I think somebody is going through a mess of a situation because they're looking back and they're wishing I would have said I loved you when I had the chance. And I think they're very sorry that, you know, they maybe betrayed your trust. So now is the time to make amends for all of these past misfortunes, and somebody's definitely been hiding the truth that they want to bring an apology forward, and that's likely going to lead to an accusation of some sort in order for these repressed emotions to surface, to get somebody back on the right track for this growth and this expansion and these higher level of commitments. So get ready to face any addictive behaviors. If you overdrink to mask, if you overeat to mask, sex is an addiction. Anything that keeps you from feeling your emotions is affecting your life negatively. So we kind of got to put the bottle down. We got to put, you know, the masking down if we want to step into these higher commitments. So I do think get ready for somebody to show up at your house and to let you know, hey, I've gone through a divorce recently. It's over, and I've not been ready to come forward yet. Maybe I've been going through some healing after a major ending, after some truth was exposed. I'm sorry for leaving you unread. Can you show me some compassion? I know I've got some challenges to face, and I know, you know, I've had you on block for quite some time, but I'm kind of ready to take that risk now. I'm kind of ready to take that risk and to fix what's broken and to be emotionally vulnerable. I've kind of been watching you. I've kind of been keeping an eye on you, and I've not been saying anything. And maybe this person has been struggling with finances, but somebody here is missing someone, wanting forgiveness, and this is what you hoped for. This is what you dreamed for. So get ready for a lot of growth and expansion. I'm actually going to get a couple messages from Spirit first, and then we're going to jump in with some tarot and see what else needs to come through for the collective when it comes to these energies. We'll get some messages from Spirit first, and then we're going to grab the tarot. But yes, this is about divine partnerships. There is a divine partner on your path. And this truly is a love like you have never known before, but it's going to upheave your life like you have never known. It's going to strip you to the bare bone in order to embrace your authentic nature. So a divine partner on path when it comes to these eclipse energies. And somebody here, I think, is needing to seek out some guidance, some help, because they've been in a state of victimization, going through a period of maturity, recognizing that it's time for them to take their power back. A lot of wisdom is being achieved in this eclipse energy, and we kind of got to embrace this learning when it comes to honoring our vessel. We are a soul in a human body, but we still need to honor our physical vessel. So are you taking good care of your physical vessel? Because if you're not taking care of your body, then it's going to affect the mind and the soul. So we're kind of all being asked to adopt this healthy state of living, freeing the mind of all of these illusions, freeing our life from any clutter or negative influences, and going deep within, processing these emotions. We cannot heal them if we don't feel them and process them. And if you want that divine counterpart on your path, it's going to require this huge release. And so I feel, you know, we don't have all of the answers yet. So we kind of do need to be that observer and to be patient with one another and to show that compassion to others, because we are all on different journeys. We are all on different timelines, and neither one of us are ahead or behind. We all chose this life to go through this awakening process. And it is about committed partnerships, a union, a celebration of some sort, and a new adventure, So I see Aries coming out. We got the Four of Wands and the Page of Wands. So it's about having the strength to go towards something new, something solid that you've never had before. And somebody's coming in with an offer to this Empress, Taurus energy, because I think it's kind of time to culminate that harvest. There's an Empress here about to reap her harvest, and she's about to have an offer coming in. And I think somebody has been dealing with all kinds of struggles in a third-party situation, and they've been holding back that, you know, I'm ready for this new beginning. And I think this is the moon where all of these secrets come to light, and somebody is coming in to face that final judgment call. Somebody is seeking resolution, and they know this Empress has her boundaries up. Somebody's coming back that walked away from this Empress. Wow. And they want a reconciliation, and they know it might be too late, because it kind of looks like this Empress has got her boundaries in place. She's poured that cup out, and she's like in this energy of, you walked away from me. You walked away from this union. So there is going to be a major ending that will lead to a new beginning. And it's kind of like that Judgment Day energy, and there is going to be an apology. And I think it's going to start off small, but there is the possibility of a reunion here when it comes to a missed opportunity. But I think it's going to require a conversation. You might have to sit at the table with somebody and put it all out on the table when it comes to this third-party interference. And there's this Empress here that I feel, you know, went into a deep state of grieving, loss, mourning, and had to learn to love and nurture herself again. And then we get this King of Cups and a King of Wands. So there is a masculine coming in with love and passion for a missed opportunity. I think this was a missed opportunity, and this is definitely linked to some past life energy. And there was a masculine that maybe was very confused, didn't know who to give his cup to, and maybe snuck away from what could have been, you know, ultimate divine union, the 10 of cups. And now somebody's been trapped up in their head, losing sleep, nightmares, haunted by the past, haunted by the ancestors when it comes to this connection. And there's going to be a moment of clarity because they're telling somebody exactly what cup is theirs. So I feel some resolution when it comes to somebody walking away from ultimate fulfillment in the past, seeking that resolution, a masculine getting ready to reignite his passions for a union of some sort, a celebration. This is indicating marriage. And I think it is going to start out small, but the flame has been lit and this Empress is just sitting there pretty. The Empress does not chase. She sits there. She knows her worth. She knows her value. She's not going to put effort into anybody that doesn't match her efforts because she knows her worth. And so I feel somebody in the past walked away from this Empress and now they want to come back and walk that walk of shame and to finally face their judgment. It's kind of judgment day, an awakening of some sort when it comes to walking away from a deep spiritual connection. And I feel this Empress was chained to this connection. And you notice this Two of Cups. There's only one person on this Two of Cups. We got a cup at her feet and the angels are bringing a cup behind her. And so I feel this Empress has been chained in this connection, also not able to really walk away until this person comes back for resolution. And I don't think you're going to see this coming, but this is the full moon, I feel, when all the cards get set out on the table, but it's going to take rigorous honesty. And I know whoever's coming in to face this judgment knows that this queen will sit there and she will hear you out. She's not going to give you any emotions, though. She's going to hear you out. She's going to be fair. She's going to be, you know, she's going to be fair. The Queen of Swords is fair. She's logical. She will hear you out without any emotions attached, though. So, and I think that's going to be a challenge, and somebody knows it, because in the past, I think this queen was walked away from and it hurt. The Queen of Swords has been deeply hurt. And this is why her walls and her boundaries are up. So I feel a secret offer, a secret apology for reconciliation. You could be dealing with a Taurus, Libra. You could be dealing with a Pisces, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. But I feel somebody's on their knees hoping I can come in with an apology and start small and work my way up after a long time of prolonged grieving. And maybe this separation, like I said, was 4, 5, or 6 years ago. But let's look into this. 8 of Cups reversed, 2 of Cups reversed. The Lovers, the Knight of Swords, the Star, and the 5 of Cups. Yeah, there's been a lot of grieving, And maybe in the past somebody had multiple options, because we got two knights on this Knight of Swords. And so the Lovers is always a choice between two. And somebody maybe went towards another lover. But I feel an unexpected choice in love, an unexpected arrival. And maybe you're going to have 2 people arriving on your doorstep. I'm not sure. But there's an energy of needing to go into the grief. Extended period of grieving as part of this uncaging. So if you want that healing, you kind of got to release the darkness and go into it and feel it. So I think get ready for somebody to come in that went towards a third party that did not choose you, and they want to bring healing into this situation. They've definitely been juggling a long time about, hey, should I come in with that offer? They've definitely withheld this offer for a very, very long time, keeping their cards and their hands close to their chest. And I feel they're coming in for victory, and it is going to come in like a tower. It is going to come in like a tower. Unexpected shakeup, unexpected, unavoidable change. That tower comes in, it's universal brute force to shake things up, to redirect you on your path. And I feel quickly coming in for a second chance. Can we reignite this flame? And somebody's been taken through the gutter, really finding their strength when it comes to this third party energy. And I feel a third party that's been clinging to control, trying to manipulate a situation when it comes to this Holy Grail union. And it is about being completely authentic. Like, look at how freaking big that cup of love is. Like, that is the ultimate Holy Grail love. So Let's look into this Empress energy. I'd like to know a little bit more about this Empress and this Queen of Swords, because it looks like a divine feminine is in focus and something that she's manifested is coming into fruition. So we got the Queen of Pentacles, the Devil, and the Death. So I feel a feminine here that is coming into a windfall of some sort, or a gift from the universe. And this is going to put an end to all of these toxic contracts. So a death to the old to bring in the new. We're releasing all of these manipulative behaviors. We're done with gaslighting. We're done with manipulation. We're done with seeking to control. And we are putting an end to some past betrayal that deeply hurt somebody. So I feel an Empress rising above the fray. And when she comes into this windfall, it's going to feel like somebody kind of got left out of the cold. So some big changes in order for some truth to come forward, some truth to be spoken for that spiritual union, because this is wish fulfillment coming in, guys. So I think get ready for somebody to come in and do the work, because they're going into that core wound. They are deeply wounded, and emotions and passions run deep, and it's kind of time to bring in that apology for this reunion over a missed opportunity. So the energies are very intense, but I think this is the moment of truth. This is the pivot point where we face that reconciliation once and for all in order to bring balance back into our lives. So we're no longer going to compromise our values. We're no longer going to compromise our values just to be connected to somebody, because solitude is the biggest place of growth, and we're never ever alone. We always got our spirit guides there guiding the way. So get ready for a shakeup, guys. I think this weekend's going to be big. If you would like to book a personal or a soulmate reading with me, please feel free to check out that description box below, guys. And I look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thank you.